are there 2 or 3 people in your field more generally who you really are inspired by, or you're motivated by, or maybe you're great communicators on the subject?
It's funny, the first name that sprang to mind there, which is bizarre because I'm not into fashion at all, but I just read an article about it, is Stella McCartney,
Okay.
the celebrity fashion designer. She's doing incredible things in terms of sustainability. So fashion, I had no idea it was such a hugely polluting industry. So it's worse. Its knock-on effects are worse than the maritime and aviation industry combined, or something, which is incredible. And I guess you can believe it when you think about the life cycle and the cotton growing and the water that's needed to do that and everything. Anyway, I read a really interesting article about Stella McCartney, not only in terms of what she's doing with her clothes, in terms of the whether it's organic cotton and life cycle assessment and slave labour in the supply chain. Her shop in London is also an absolute showcase for sustainable building design in terms of the materials used within the shop. So, to answer your question, businesses have a huge part to play for sure, but also people should never be sceptical about the small actions that we can all take, because of course 7 billion of us in the world now, and when small acts are multiplied by that much, we have a lot of power to change our behaviour. So we're, to hold the mirror up in front of myself, we're trying to live as much of a zero waste life as we can at the moment, and we're not even remotely there. I'm not afraid to admit it. We've got 3 kids. It's really hard. There's plastic everywhere, but there's a great new zero waste shop in Farnham where we're now doing a lot of our shopping, and we're trying to significantly reduce the amount of single-use plastic that we're using and throwing away. We're having our most sustainable Christmas ever. We're only a week away.
Do you find, however, that there's a danger that you can evangelise too much? And when you see your friends, it's the first thing that comes out. And you're talking about how you're changing the world, how the trees are looking livelier and more beautiful this time of year and so forth, as opposed to somehow just accepting it as people are going to take these things up in their own time.
Yes, I think you can evangelise too much, and I definitely try not to do it.
I must say, I'm guilty occasionally of the same thing with offline. I think myself, it's so obvious, and yet not everybody quite understands. So, without wishing to somehow repeat myself, I do always feel that even the simple things bear continual repetition. And when I say continual repetition, I mean wherever I am. Whether I'm sitting on a park bench, I'm at the football, I'm not with a friend of mine, I'm with my kids, I'm with their friends. I talk about the fact that in the end, and touch upon the wider point here, that it's all about how you are able to engage and communicate with people. If you do it in a very simple and effective way, like you do obviously on your business, which is great, then I think it's so much easier for people to follow. I think the difficult thing in so many kinds of business contexts is that it's overcomplicated.
Yeah.
Overcomplicated, over-analytical, people are looking for justification and for outcomes, and actually what matters most of all, to start the conversation.
Absolutely.
As we are doing right now.
Absolutely. And something I'm passionate about is storytelling. So let's use corporate sustainability consultancies as an example, because I'm working with a few of them at the moment. They're providing exactly the same services and solutions, and they're trying to get more clients, and they're both doing great work that has a positive effect on our planet. The one that makes the emotional connection is the one that wins the business, and we need to make the emotional connection with everyone, kids, adults, everyone, to get them involved and to get them excited and motivated about sustainability. And storytelling is the way to do that. And coming back to my previous point, we're all stakeholders. So another thing I'm hoping to do next year is to write a book with 2 friends of mine who are also really on board, about what it means to be a purpose-driven business in 2019, and how storytelling and making the emotional connection is key to affecting change.
Can I make one suggestion? I think that's a great idea. But I make one suggestion. I think you should do, with your friends or otherwise, maybe with a wife, write a book for children, which actually is accessible, it's fun, but where the actual message is well understood. Because I think that's a very effective and very powerful way for them in turn to share it with their friends, their siblings, their peer groups, people on the hockey team, the football team, piano class, whatever it may be. Because I think, again, it's about conversation. Anyway, look, first things first, real pleasure talking to you about your sustainability consultancy and
marketing consultancy.
That as well, making sure you were still concentrating. But real pleasure. Great to hear you say well. Great to hear about LinkedIn Local. Look forward to collaborating in the future and continue the conversation going offline.
Likewise.
Pleasure.
Thanks, Howard.
Pleasure. Good to see you. Done.
You too.